I'm John Seeley. Buford Lake Planting Company is my farm, and we farm primarily cotton and soybeans. When I initially got started farming, the commodity prices were fairly low, but the input prices, they kind of went up pretty high. They've never really gone back down. So we try to watch every dime we spend on chemicals. Brian at Vantage South approached me because I had two identical sprayers, conventional sprayers, and so he wanted to put a Magro on one and the other one leave it conventional, do some test plots, see how it really worked, because their claim to fame about less chemical and less water, better coverage is a pretty substantial claim. We did a 100% rate, then we did a 75% rate, and then a 50% rate. I mean, everything looks the same. I mean, you can't tell the difference going with reduced water and reduced chemical. It's kind of weird because it kind of draws down into the canopy where usually, it kind of rolls out behind the sprayer. I was actually across the pad from one of the sprayers and they made a turn, and usually it'll spray on my truck or whatever. It didn't at all with the wind blowing into me, and I thought, well, it's kind of odd. And so there's definitely a difference. I don't know how it does it, but there's more droplets up under the leaves than the conventional spraying. And that's what we want to penetrate, especially with insecticides. A lot of our worm materials are very expensive, and if you can't penetrate the canopy, then you're not doing any good. Instead of going from 20 gallons of water and you cut back to 15 gallons of water, and if you reduced your chemicals by 25% and still be on label, that would be astronomical. That's a huge amount of money you could save. And plus the environment. We've had zero problems out of the system. We haven't had to do one thing to it. As far as the upkeep and the maintenance, there's none. We've done some test strips where we actually reduced chemical and water by 50%, and there's absolutely no difference thus far. So that's pretty amazing. That's very amazing, actually. It would save the farmer a tremendous amount of money. The price point is pretty high on the Magro system, but it pays for itself in no time. Because anybody who's dealt with pigweeds in Liberty, they'll kill them, but you have to spray them when they're really small. So to see a half rate, 50 or 60, 70% better coverage, potentially at 10 gallons, a half rate, you might be doing better than a conventional sprayer at 20 gallons. Not only Liberty's been sprayed half, but every insecticide's been sprayed half. I think we've made 6 plant bug applications, so if we cut that in half, that's a huge amount of money you could save. So it's not only herbicides, but insecticides too. And when you go over a crop and you could potentially save $50, $60 an acre, that ends up being a lot of money. Yeah, less work, more recreation.